Hey y'all, this is Brooke here with Breaking Down the Page, and today we're going to be talking about Frank Miller's Sin City. I actually have two copies. I wanted this one for a thumbnail, 'cause it's the front, but I also have a regular size. This size came with the one of the special DVD editions, like the extended cut or something like that, and it fit a little bit better. So I reread this recently and just wanted to talk through it. I didn't really take any notes, but I at least flipped through and have like some bookmarks, which are receipts. This book, I was first introduced to it by uh, Dr. Starr when I went to Kentucky Christian University. He recommended this to me to read, not necessarily what you'd expect out of a professor at a Christian school, just because it has the name Sin City. So growing up, I was kind of like, that doesn't sound good. But I'd never read Frank Miller before then. He might have been who introduced me to The Watchmen, I'm not sure. But definitely to The Dark Knight Rises, I borrowed his copies. He bought this while it was being released and reread it recently. I've been wanting to get through the others. I actually have the second one is on my desk, but I've not gotten to it. This is A Dame to Kill For. This is my favorite out of them. The rest of them are actually right here on my bookshelf. Can't really see them though. So, I'm going to start off with some of Frank Miller's words and how they've impacted me. This one ran away with itself. I planned it as 48 pages, but I got carried away. It's all Marv's fault. The big lug started bossing me around. It's like this sometimes. The pages you're looking at right now feature some of the covers and publicity pieces I drew in the course of Sin City's 13-month run in Dark Horse Presents, Frank Miller. Just so you get to see this nice picture of Marv, just face beat into hamburger. And I've taken that idea of just, I'm going to do I read this. I read this all in one setting. It's turns out it's not 40 pages. It's 190 pages. 200 pages. 200 pages. And I totally have had a week of life where I was like, man, I can tell the origin story of this character in 80 pages. And I kind of got through the origin of the character, but the entire story, or no, it wasn't the origin story. I was like, I can tell this story of a character coming out of retirement in 80 pages, turned into 300 pages over a period of 10 weeks, roughly 10 weeks. It was August or 8 weeks, either way. I ended in October, and I got 100 pages in the week one, then school started. So this is just some beautiful black and white artwork. If you love manga, this would be a great place to start with American comic books. We're not talking superheroes here. There is an element of Marv being a bit very durable, let's say. So we look through this artwork, and he gets the pulp beat out of him so much in this story. I have this very amazing image of him breaking out of a window, if it'll focus. Here's the sequence of him kind of jumping down. If you've seen the movie, you'll recognize some of these shots because they just kind of went panel to panel in the movie. The reason that one that I wanted to point out, which I should have a marker for. Shoot, did it go missing? This one. This panel right here. These panels. I actually was inspired by this for one of the moments I was kind of recently at in my novel, and I was like, you know what? I want to have a character just kick through a windshield. Because I read this and I was like, that looks so freaking cool. My events played out much differently, given all things considered, but the amount of detail in the glass here. Frank Miller just is going all out in this art. There's not a whole lot of black and white American comics, and he just completely nails it here. By now, there's 24 cops up on the pier, guns cocked, waiting for me to surface, so they can blast my face to kingdom come. I hope they're holding their breaths, the bastards. The bastards. And one of the critiques that I kind of run into when I go back and read my American comics, I have 10,000 issues of X-Men, Spider-Man, Avengers, all sorts of Marvel DC stuff, is especially up until the early 2000s. When I was younger reader, I didn't pay attention as much to the thought bubbles and stuff, but it can get just so overdone at times. And the internal narration here with Marv, coupled with it's just he's not necessarily describing the situation. He's talking more about what does he need to do, and he's not doing it yet. Like here, I have to get to Lucille. She knows what I need, and she's got it. She's always got it. So we see him just climbing up this marvelous uh, building here. Get some variations, different angles. The fight scenes are top notch. We got a wonderful one here of him grading someone's face into the asphalt. I don't know about you, but I'm having a ball. Mickey Rourke plays Marv perfectly in the movie. Go watch the movie. The movie isn't as good as the book, but the movie is definitely entertaining, especially if you've read the book. It's not the best. Um, Quentin Tarantino and Rodriguez do a good job overall. I think the the movie's a bit limited due to the era when it was made and some other stuff. I marked some dialogue I was going to read to go along with visuals. Rain doesn't come to Sin City real often, and when it does, it's usually pretty lame stuff. Warm as sweat and lucky if it gets to the pavement before it evaporates. But maybe twice a year, the desert sky really coughs it up and spits it out. A cold, mean torrent that turns the streets to glass and chills you to the bone. Most people hate the rain when it's nasty like this, but me, I love it. It helps me think. I'm not real smart, but I feel a whole lot smarter when everything goes slick and everybody skitters off the streets and gets out of my way. I love the rain. I love the icy way it creeps down my neck, the way the air goes electric and everything seems so clear. You breathe in and your nostrils work. That's what I do. I breathe in and just let my feet take me wherever they want. And I think. My eyes still watch out for the squad car or beat cop, but my brain goes off on its own deep inside, spreading out the puzzle pieces one more time, trying to find two that'll fit together, looking for some hint of the big picture. But mostly, I keep coming back to that cop I just killed and what he told me. He was a tough one, and I was pretty steamed about what he'd done to Lucille anyway, so I took my time with the son of a bitch. It wasn't until I showed him all those pieces of himself that he said what he said. Then all of a sudden, he was doing the one thing the doing the what sorry. He was the one doing the laughing because he saw the look on my face and he died knowing I wished to God he'd kept his mouth shut after all. It was just a name, but I haven't stopped shaking since I heard it. And the rain isn't the reason I'm shaking either. Just a name. Back when the priest said it, I figured he was jerking my chain. But hearing it from the cop, I knew it couldn't be a coincidence. Just a name. Rourke. Rourke. Damn it. Every inch of me wants to turn tail, to sneak into the back of a truck or hop a freight car and haul out of town. I want to run like hell. To crawl into a cave somewhere and forget about Goldie and Lucille and Silent Deadly Kevin. Rourke, damn it. I'm as good as dead. I'm as good as dead. And it's not that I'm any kind of hero that makes me stay. Heroes don't go weak in the knees and feel like throwing up or curling up into a little ball and crying like a baby. Let's skip ahead of him looking at his face in the mirror. And I love we get kind of the front, and then here we get the profile of. We don't really have a whole lot of dimension here, and here we really see that shape of the nose, which they totally nail that in the movie. It's very enjoy. It might take a second to get used to, but to really he really fleshed out here the multiple dimensions of Marv's face. I wipe the blood off and I take a deep breath and take a good long look at the monster in the mirror. Don't screw up this time, Marv. It's too important right now. While you're alone, feel the fear and get past it. Go ahead, shake it like a junkie. Let your heart crawl up your throat. Let your stomach squeeze itself into a golf ball, into one of those black holes that sucks everything into it. Think about dying. Think hard. Picture it. A bullet through your brain, and that's if you're lucky, getting it that quick. But it's just as likely going to be the slow way. A long bad joke of a trial, and a longer wait in a cell until they that chair strap you into that chair, and a million volts send you straight to hell, and they'll call you a psycho killer who got what's coming to him. Picture it. Feel it. Get used to it. Then put it back inside where it belongs. You've got some people to kill, and if you do it right, it won't matter what anybody says. You'll go to your grave a winner. There he is, in the mirror. It's awesome. He's going on the hunt. So I don't want to spoil the book anymore. Just want to appreciate the art. We got the onomatopoeia of the blams, the gun going off here. It just looks amazing, and it holds up. It's hard boiled. It's a bit of a thriller mystery. Marv's out to figure out who he has a death pinned on him in the very beginning, and the cops show up, and he's like, "This is a setup." And from that point on, he just wants to know who's after him and why did they kill Goldie. So, a lot of fun. You can pretty much read it in one setting. Go pick up your copy. That's all. Thank you for watching.